All right, we're recording. Cool. Okay, well, welcome to the fundraising webinar. Let's go ahead and get started. So, first question that I'm sure you all are asking yourselves, why fundraise? Uh, Most obviously for the money. We need money to support the tiger conservation efforts that we contribute to pay for your club trips and social activities, um, and then just to cover overhead costs in general. Um, Wait, was I muted there? Could you guys hear what I was saying?
Yes. Yeah.
You could hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I'm looking at this control panel. Okay. Um, all right, cool. I think I'm sorry, I'm looking at this side here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mute everyone just in case you guys are typing or taking notes or whatever you're doing, just so it's less distracting. But go ahead and just write something in the chat if you have a question, and I'll stop and unmute you and we can talk about it. Does that work?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so I have the chat open, so I'll see a message if you guys have one. Okay, anyway, back to the webinar. Why fundraise? For the money. Support your conservation efforts to pay for trips and activities and to cover your overhead costs of just running a club. But of course, there's more benefits to fundraising besides just the cash. Builds club unity as you guys do these activities together. Strengthens the friendships that you guys have with your Tigers for Tigers members by working together. Instills responsibility in some of your less experienced members and gives them, you know, feeling like they're contributing to the club and group as a whole. Increases your community involvement. So, if you're doing fundraisers that involve the community, they feel like they're helping out and being part of your university, which they always want to do. Uh, Through your fundraisers, you will hopefully start to develop relationships with potential long-term donors and fundraisers. So those that really, are inspired by what you're doing, they really believe in the cause, and hopefully long-term they'll continue to support your events year after year and can provide you with support financially for your efforts. And of course, with all that money, you can make it rain. So why do people give? A couple of reasons. First and foremost, because they're asked. That's, a lot of times, if just simply by asking, you'd be surprised at how much people, are willing to give. If you don't ask, they're never going to give, so nothing to lose there. Um, then also, to make a difference. They believe in your cause. They want to help tigers in the wild just like you guys do, so they'll donate for that reason. There's a relationship between the donor and the organization, like we were just talking about, cultivating that relationship. They've worked with you guys in the past, and so they know you guys are a good group of students, and they're excited to help out with your mission. Just to experience the joy of giving. Who doesn't like to feel good about themselves for helping a good cause? To enact their values and priorities. So maybe they care about tiger conservation and international conservation as well. So it makes sense that they'd support you all. For public recognition, they people want to know that they're generous and nice people. Be part of the community, like I said, be part of your university community. The tax benefits, if you're a 501c3 organization. Care for others and self-gratification. So why people don't give? First of all, they're never asked. Again, goes with the first thing that we mentioned on the other slide. But also absence of a personal experience. If you have an event or a fundraiser and it just there's no connection, you're not connecting to them personally. You don't seem like you're too passionate about what you're talking about or your cause. They're not going to really feel like it's worth it to them to donate. Um, History of neglect. That just means, if you've had fundraisers in the past, but you've never followed up with people and thanked them and showed your appreciation for taking the time for them to donate to you, they're going to be like, well, I don't need this. I can use my money elsewhere. Disjointed messages. So if you're not communicating clearly what you guys do, what your mission is, and where the money's going, if it seems like you don't really know what you're doing, they're not going to trust that their donation is going to where they want it to go. Lack of leadership commitment. That's pretty much speaks for itself. Little or no voice, again, in communication, inconsistent, and multiple appeals. So if you're asking for different things with no rhyme or reason, it's not going to seem as credible to them. So some keys to successful fundraising. Hi, Sean. Um, okay. Yes, major key alert. Got to put DJ Khaled in there. Um, okay. So identify your goals. You got to start with the goals. How much money do you want to raise? Where is the money going? We're going to go through all these in a little bit more detail following slides. So recognize your limitations, keep members involved, delegate responsibilities, create an agenda, advertise, obtain your sponsors, promote your successes, thank all your supporters, and be creative. So setting goals. First step of fundraising. How much do you want to raise? You got to set a goal to know if you're successful or not. Where will that money be used, and where are you donating it? And that should be communicated clearly throughout the whole process. Your members should be on board with this, supportive of it, and they need to know as well. So parameters. Who are you targeting? Are you targeting students? Are you targeting alumni? Are you targeting your community? Combination, because that will determine how you go about advertising and what your fundraiser should be in general. How much money can you allocate to this event? How much money does your club have? And can you put that toward this event? How will you get your community involved? And then again, effective communication. When you say your money's going to go somewhere, it's very important that that's where the money goes. You're going to lose your potential donor audience. And your members need to, realize that you're a credible organization. Your money's going where you say. So recognize your limitations. So the types of funders you undertake should reflect the capacity of your club. So if your club is, 4 people, which is fine, a 5K is probably not the best fundraiser to go about doing because, it takes a lot of manpower and a lot of coordination. But just because your club's small doesn't mean you can't be successful at fundraising. When you recognize your limitations, you'll know what you should be putting your resources toward, how much manpower you can allocate. So, if you only have a couple members, you can do something small. Like, bake sales are boring most of the time, but you can be creative with that. Instead of a bake sale, do a bacon sale and, cook bacon, on a little fryer out in front of high traffic areas on campus. And, that'll generate a lot of money. A lot of groups sell grilled cheeses downtown or near the bars on weekends. It's the same principle as a bake sale. Limited time in, low manpower, low investment, but you can make a ton of money by doing these things. Keep your members involved. So when you fundraise, your club as a whole should be involved in the entire process. You want them in the brainstorming and input process so they feel like they're taking a stake and ownership in this event. And they'll be more willing to actually get involved if they feel like, okay, this is kind of my idea. I helped formulate this. I better, contribute, make sure it works. Because again, everyone wants to see if it's their idea, they want to see it work. It'll increase the number of active members you have. That goes back to retainment as well. Give them something to do. And this can instill their responsibility and hopefully get some long-term club leaders for your organizations. Delegate responsibilities. So a lot of times when people undertake fundraisers, it's stressful and they're afraid to let other members or other people get involved, and they just want to try to do everything themselves, just so they can make sure it goes well. But a lot of times that just doesn't work. It's just too much responsibility on top of an academic schedule and everything else. So by delegating responsibilities, again, it gives ownership to your other members and helps lighten the workload and spread it out among your leaders. And this is just a sort of a basic model. It does not have to be done exactly like this, but it's a good way to sort of think about delegating responsibilities if you're undertaking a fundraiser, no matter how big or small. Teams of more than one person, so they don't feel like they're at it alone and they have someone else to fall back on, bounce ideas off of. A logistics team to make sure everything runs smoothly, sort of securing venues, coordinating events, timing, that sort of thing. And then an advertising team is important too. Flyers, social media. Social media is another name. Flyers, reaching out to your administration to get on listservs, trying to get advertisements in either campus media or independent media, newspapers and whatnot, and a social media team, because social media seems like not that big of a deal. but it really is huge for your guys' organizations. We're going to talk about that a little more in a bit. To stay organized and on top of everything, you want to have an agenda. So an agenda should have your list of responsibilities, a calendar of when they're supposed to be done by, and your timeline clearly outlined. So how much time do you have to do each preparatory event, and set those deadlines. If there's no deadlines, it doesn't get done. That's just as simple as that. Everyone involved should be able to have access to the agenda, so everyone's on the same page, and each member should know what they're responsible for, have that clearly communicated to them. Even no matter how small the task is, write it down, include it in this master agenda, just so everything's here and clear, and you can reference back to this in future years and see what worked, what didn't. Advertising. So you're not going to get money for your events if people don't know that there is one to attend. So you guys have tons of great resources at your disposal for advertising, including your administration, social media, campus media, local media, flyers, merchandise you might have, and then just tabling, which is critical. So working with your administration, reach out to your university president, your public relations director, marketing services, department head, faculty advisor. All these people can be helpful. President's hard to reach. We know that, but by reaching out, maybe they don't respond, but they'll at least see that you're there. They'll see your presence, and they'll know your club's working on campus. Your PR director, all they want to do is push out stories of students at your university doing great things. So just by setting up a meeting and letting them know you're doing something, they'll be happy to, put a press release out, and just put the word out that you guys are doing a great fundraiser to support saving your mascot. Marketing services, the same way, and they can actually be really helpful if you're trying to develop a strategy for, social media. Like how should we set up these tweets? Should we post this here, there? That's what they do for a living. They can be super helpful with that. And of course, your faculty advisor and faculty in your departments that are familiar with Tigers for Tigers be more than happy to help you guys out. And maintain these contacts. If someone does help you from your public relations department, send them a thank you note, a handwritten note or an email, just quick, hey, thanks for so much for helping. Following up is key to keep these relationships going. And make a master list recording everyone you work with on these events. So you can go back to them next year. It's like, oh, we had this great, 5K, but we talked to this one person, don't know who it was, and they helped us out with this news article. Oh, it was so-and-so because you have it written down. Social media. Every club should have Facebook and Twitter. I think most of you do. And with this, it's very important to stay current and up to date because for your clubs, this is your presence and first impression to essentially everyone. If someone hears Tigers at Mizzou, what is that? They're going to go to Facebook and look it up. And if you don't have current information, your last post was 3 months ago. They're like, is this club, still going on? What are they, are they still doing things? I don't know. It doesn't seem legit to me. And then you'll lose them. So make sure you guys stay up to date with your social media. And they should be professional and consistent. So it doesn't mean that you can't be creative with it, but keep your messaging consistent and make it look like a real credible organization. Again, marketing services can be helpful in developing a strategy that you guys can use to market for an event. Yeah. So what to post? Pictures of Tigers and pictures of your club members having fun when you're making these social media posts. That's all people care about. Share your success stories, take photos of everything. Every time there's a tabling event, every time someone's representing Tigers for something, take a picture, post it. The more content you guys can produce, the better. And then updates your club. If your club's doing a trip or makes big decisions or whatever, post that, keep everyone updated. And then if, LSU wins the SEC next year and everyone at your university is talking about this, you better jump on that bandwagon and make a post as well. Major key alert, tag prominent social media accounts. So over here on the right, pretty much exemplifies one of the best tweets we had ever. And it's kind of the perfect tweet because it encompasses everything that your tweet should have. First of all, it's got media. It's got a picture. Every post, Facebook, Twitter, Obviously, Instagram should have a picture or a video to go with it. Huge. Include your call to action. Sign up in this case, and here's the link to sign up. And this is bit.ly.com is what shortens URLs in case you guys don't know, BITLY. You got your hashtag to track your posts, see how it does throughout the day, see if other people are picking up your content, and reaching out to notable accounts. So this one we happen to reach out to was one of many, Ricky Gervais, who does a lot of animal welfare conservation messaging on his social media accounts. He picked it up, retweeted it, and then the likes and retweets just rolled in. We gained a ton of new followers that day just because of that. So when you're advertising for events or other activities on campus, tag your official university accounts, tag, fan accounts. Anyone with a big social media presence, put them in your content. Because if you guys have the best messaging in the world, but you only have 200 followers on Twitter, unfortunately, no one's going to see that great messaging and content and how they can help save their mascot. But if you tag these other accounts that can push out your message, not only is it free advertising, you'll gain more followers, you'll gain new members, but more people will be able to sign up for your events and do what you want them to do, your call to action. Facebook, it's important not to overload. 1 to 2 posts a day, whereas Twitter, Instagram, you can go a little more intense with that, have multiple posts. Campus media, contact your university newspaper, radio, TV stations to advertise. Again, most people are just looking for stories, positive stories of their students. By simply putting yourself out there, they'd be most of the time happy to do a story on you all. Local media, that's newspapers, radio stations. Again, reach out to them, just ask. That's half the battle. You're either going to get a yes or no, and that's as simple as that. It takes 30 seconds to make a phone call, but it could end up really paying off. And again, when you're contacting these people, this is more professional. This is their careers, so you want to be professional as well. If they ask you to call back or email or correspond at a later time, it's critical you actually do that and don't leave them hanging. Okay, flyers, one of the biggest parts about advertising. So we're going to do this little polling feature here, and you guys are going to pick which one you think is the best flyer. Flyer A or flyer B. Okay. I'll launch the poll here. And keep in mind that I did not pick those flyers. I found them off the internet. Well, I did pick them, but I didn't make them. Cool. Let's see the results. Oh my goodness, you guys are so genius at flyers. Excellent. Correct. B. 100%. Yeah. 2 objectives of flyers. Make you stop and think, get your attention, and deliver the message you want clearly and quickly. Dynamic and eye-catching, but it doesn't mean messy and obnoxious like that first flyer. You don't need 50 different fonts, 20 different colors, and 10 graphics all over the page, to get people's attention. This is just what most flyers should have. Generally, the catchy title, obviously, what's going on. 1 to 2 sentences delivering the message. A lot of times that can be included in the title itself, so you might not need that. Your call to action, always. Is it sign up? Is it attend? Is it go here? Is it do this? What do you want them to do? Make sure that's clear. All the key information, date, time, location, when this is happening. Your website and social media information on the flyer. And when it says be sure these links reflect the content of the flyer, what we mean by that is, if you're saying, okay, we have this, this fundraiser, at this time at this location, and then there's a link to your Facebook page. If there's nothing on your Facebook page about that, and all your posts are old and outdated, you might lose that person because they were interested from your flyer, but they want to get more information to see if they should go, and then there's nothing for them to follow up with, and that could have been one donor, one new member who doesn't go. And when you create these flyers, try and use a knockout logo if possible, like this one in the top right, with no background, so it filters in nicely and looks professional. And if you guys have club members with graphic design or similar backgrounds, have them take the lead on designing these flyers. A, if that's their major, it's their interest, and they want to use their interest to help the club. And B, they'll probably make a better flyer than someone who has no experience with, graphic design because they just know how the programs work and know the tricks. Merchandise. So if you expect this to be a big event with lots of people, it might be worth creating merchandise to sell that commemorates the events, whether that's stickers, buttons, something cheap, T-shirts. And it's not only going to be making money by selling this, but also free advertising when they wear your shirts, wear your stickers, put your buttons on. Tabling. You guys are all pretty much experts at tabling, so we won't spend too much time on this. Key thing here is always try to have a giveaway if you can. Candies, stickers, something that people will want to bring them to your table. Otherwise, they're just going to walk right by. And take pictures. Again, anytime you guys do stuff, take pictures and post it. Okay, so we're running short on time here. Hold on, I am unmuting everyone for a second. Maybe. Do you guys have a couple extra minutes to keep going, or do you guys all have to leave right at 5?
I'm good to keep going.
Okay.
I have time.
Cool. Is this
I have a little more time.
is this going okay? Any questions so far? Am I going too fast?
You're good.
Okay. So you said, just let me know if you want me to stop or anything.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. So obtaining sponsors. Hello. So a great way to raise funds for your projects, obviously, is getting sponsors. They confront the bulk of the big costs to do your events, and the more sponsorships you get, the more money you can put towards a bigger and better event. That being said, sponsorships aren't always in the form of a cash donation. Instead, a business might be able to donate a product or a gift certificate as a prize, which can be helpful because instead of spending money on a prize, they'll just give it to you. And when asking members to obtain sponsors, that can be very intimidating. So it's a good idea to create some sort of brief PowerPoint to show at one of your meetings that describes, the process of obtaining a sponsor, how you go about doing that. And the PowerPoint might want to include what to ask for, who to ask, how to make the ask, and tips for the actual meeting with the potential sponsor. And when you try to go get sponsors, you have to demonstrate your value. Make sure they're familiar with Tigers for Tigers and they know what it is off the bat. So they'll see, okay, well, why should I, as Dunkin' Donuts, sponsor I'm just using 5K as a running example, your 5K. For why should we give you this coffee? Well, we'll have all your logoed coffee dispensers out at our breakfast after the event. Everyone will see Dunkin' Donuts sponsored it. We'll put your name on the back of our commemorative shirt. So people wear that around. It's free advertising for you. That's the value, and we're a great cause here at this university and this community. So what to ask for? Again, either products to support your event or cash donations. Who to ask? Businesses around campus, obviously. But a lot of times, everyone's asking these guys for money. Every group on campus wants their help. So plan ahead and ask early, way before your event. Otherwise, you'll go in and say, listen, we'd love to help, but we've donated as much as we could this semester. So again, doing everything early and planning ahead is, for any fundraising, any event at all, is critical. Fast food companies specifically, again, they can, like Dunkin' Donuts, can get you food for your events. But since most of these are franchise businesses, they'll have to run it up the chain to their corporate manager and ask and just run it by them. So again, they're happy to do it, but it takes time. So the earlier, the better. Real estate companies or apartment complexes that college students stay in, it's again free advertising for them. They're always trying to find more ways to advertise to students and show, hey, we're a cool place to live. So they a lot of times are great to ask for advertising as well, or sponsorship as well. And then companies with tiger mascots. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's an easy connection. And I know Mizzou has been working hard on really pushing this, which is fantastic. So how to ask for funding? Target a company that you think would make sense for your cause. So if you're doing a 5K, how about a running store? That's their audience, that's their market. So they'd be happy to put their content out for that. Learn about the company, know what you're walking into, what type of business they are, and what they could potentially offer you, and how to cater your ask to them, and why that'd be important for that specific company to support your group. Prepare a proposal, and this doesn't have to be anything too intense. It's just sort of a letter in writing outlining, what you're talking about, who Tigers for Tigers is, what your mission is, your event, and what you want from them, and obviously end with a thank you. Make it a win-win. And when you go in person, you want to meet with the manager, whoever's in charge, to make these calls about donating and sponsorships. Hand them the letter, introduce yourself, and then give them the pitch. And when you go in there, always. I think this is the next slide. Hold on. Yeah, sorry. So be prepared and talk to them ahead of time. Give them a call. Hey, do you mind if I come in this day to talk to you about this event? Sure. And when you meet with them, you want to dress nicely, either in business casual attire or Tigers for Tigers gear. Introduce yourself, manager. Shake hands. Be polite. Be clear with your asks and what you're doing. Be enthusiastic. If they see you're excited about this event and you really care about your cause, like, oh, I want to help these people out, and thank them whether they agree or not. Always say thank you, and that goes for everyone who's involved in your event: volunteers, supporters, club members. Thank everybody who helped. You can do so in person at the event. It's always good to send a follow up, either a thank you card, a handwritten note, or an email. Even companies that don't sponsor you, send them something, a hard copy. Thank you so much. It could help next time you ask. They might be in a position where they can actually sponsor you. So don't give up because they say no once. And cultivating donor relationships. So once you guys have a couple, events and you're starting to get, people joining your cause and contributing, you'll get some people that really care about what you do. And you want to build relationships with these supporters so you keep them coming back, and they tell their friends to support your group. And again, some of these key donor pools, one is your university alumni. It's your largest, most accessible donation pool. They already know about your school. They already care. They want to give back. They have a job, so they have disposable income to give away. And they want to find new and creative ways to give back to their university. And you can reach out to alumni through your faculty advisor. They'll have the ways and channels to get through there, or just go to your alumni relations department and talk to them about that, and they'll be happy to help you. You can even look at for specific alumni social media accounts. They have them, and they're loosely organized across the country for your schools, and that's a great way to get your messaging out as well. And club alumni. So what's a really good idea is to start keeping track of your members once they graduate. Just keep a running list, a spreadsheet of their names, email address, and phone numbers. So that when you have big events, down the line, hey, I saw, Nicole, you were an LSU Tigers for Tigers member. You were the president. That's so awesome. We wouldn't be here without you. Would you consider donating to this event we're having this week? And you're like, oh, sure, of course. I love Tigers for Tigers. But by having that list, they'll know who to ask. And that goes for any event you have. If you can get names, emails, phone numbers, and keep that logged, that's huge for asking for support in the future. So after you're done with your fundraising event, keep everything: your agenda, your contacts, who'd you call to schedule, if you're doing a 5K again, who'd you call to get your timing guy to time the race? Who did you get sponsorships for? Did they say yes? Did they say no? Who did you talk to there? You got to get all this information so that in future years it goes much smoother and easier. You have to start from scratch. And evaluate what worked, what didn't. Was this worth your time and energy to put into it? Did you achieve your goals? If not, what can you do to do that? Or is it better to maybe do something else? And always discuss this with your club members, get their input, and ask their opinions. And save it and pass it on so your next officers next year will be able to use it. Quick do's and don'ts: have goals, plan early, keep records. As much donated as you can is critical. When you do your events, at the end, have some sort of comment or suggestion slip that's like, hey, how did this go? What did you like? What did you not like? What could we do better? Always stay positive. Always, if you're having fun and you're having a good time, your members will too. and B, your donors and people at your events, your fundraising events, will also be more inclined to donate and have a good time. Take advantage of all your campus resources. Don't don't rely on membership dues to pay for everything. Don't wait to the last minute. Don't expect members, to pay out of their own pockets to help support the events because you couldn't get enough sponsors in time. And don't get discouraged if sponsorships are difficult to find or the event's not a huge success. Everything's a learning experience, and even if you didn't achieve 100% of your goal, what you did achieve is still worth celebrating and worth bragging about and putting out there and being proud of your members and thanking them for their support. And finally, keep it fun. Tigers for Tigers is supposed to be fun. And if it's not fun, then it's not worth it. So you want to have a good time. If you're having fun, if you're passionate, your members will too. That energy will spread out to potential donors and everyone, and it'll make it worth it. You want to look forward to your club meetings. You want to look forward to social gatherings with your group. So keep it fun. And that concludes this webinar. Any questions? Anything that wasn't clear? Anything that wasn't covered that you have questions about that you thought would be? Yeah.
I have one question. It's specifically for my club at Mizzou.
Okay.
We're doing a fundraiser on Thursday and Friday, but we have a lot of trouble trying to get new members to take shifts because we work in 1-hour shifts. And so I'm taking 6 hours of the shifts, and Sydney and Kaylee are taking a bunch of hours, but we have about 10 new people who aren't taking any shifts, and we don't know how to encourage them to do so.
Right. Yeah, that's always hard to sort of crack the nut the first time and get them involved. And one thing I would suggest is, see if there's a way that you could pair either an experienced officer and club member up with a new member that maybe hasn't volunteered before. So then they'll feel a little less intimidated, like I can't handle this by myself, I don't know what's going on. If they're with another officer or club leader, experienced member, or even another new person, but somewhere they don't feel like they're doing it by themselves and all the responsibilities on them. That's a good way to try to convince them to do it. And then just be honest and just be like, listen, we really wanted everyone involved in this. It's supposed to be a club team effort, and we can't do it without you guys. Without all of you, the club wouldn't exist. But we could really use your help on this event. That's my advice when it comes to that. But yeah, the new members, it's always hard. And then if asking out to your crowd at a club meeting doesn't work, maybe approach people personally afterwards, like, hey, what are you doing on Thursday? You think you could come out even for 30 minutes or something? So if you do it more personally, they might be more inclined rather than speaking out in front of the whole meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Any other questions? Okay, if there's no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but I still want to talk to you guys, get a little quick feedback. Does that work?
Yep.
Cool.